You ever have those mornings where the coffee hits just right, but the shop feels like it's bracing itself for a fight? That's where I'm at today. Welcome back to the TigerDen, folks. It's Saturday, May 2nd, and we are staring down a year that feels more like a sci-fi flick than a trade manual.
Well, as long as the robots aren't the ones swinging the hammers yet, I think we're safe. Although, looking at your workbench, Tiger, I'm not sure if you're fixing a table or building a time machine.
It's a bit of both some days, but listen, we've got a massive spread today. We're talking about DeWalt's newest tiny powerhouses, the weird comeback of the humble axe, and why the automotive world is currently being rewired, literally.
And for the people who actually want to make a mortgage payment with their sawdust, we're diving into the maker mogul strategy for 2026, because apparently functional art is the new I made this in my garage.
Let's start with the gear. DeWalt released their 2026 Atomic line, and it's a weird sensation. Usually when things get smaller, they get wimpier, sort of like a decaf latte. But these new subcompacts, they've got enough torque to jumpstart a mule. I was tucking some electrical runs into a crawl space yesterday that would usually require a chiropractor and a lot of swearing. And this little atomic unit just slid right in there.
Wait, a subcompact that actually works? Usually, those things are glorified screwdrivers you give to someone who just moved into their first apartment. You're saying these can actually handle a real job site?
I thought the same thing. I went in skeptical, figuring I'd snap the motor the second I hit a knot in some pressure-treated pine. But it's the power-to-weight ratio that's the real kicker. It's like having a heavyweight boxer's punch inside a gymnast's body. If you're doing MEP installs, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, you aren't dragging a 10-pound beast into a ceiling joist anymore.
Interesting. But then, looking at the other side of your bench, is that a wooden axe? We're going from AI-powered drills to 18th century tech?
It's a beauty, isn't it? The Husqvarna wooden curved carpenter axe. It's actually topping the charts this year. There's something about the ergonomics of a curved wooden handle that a composite handle just can't replicate. It's got a soul. I spent an hour clearing some brush on a site last week, and my wrist didn't feel like it had been through a car wash. It's about balance, when the tool becomes an extension of your arm rather than a weight you're fighting.
I get the aesthetic appeal, Tiger. I really do. But tell me honestly, is this just maker nostalgia, or are people actually using these on job sites in 2026?
It's genuine utility, Alex. If you're framing or doing site prep, a perfectly balanced blade saves you energy over an 8-hour shift. But speaking of energy, we need to talk about the smart tech creeping into our bags. We're seeing these AI-powered diagnostic gadgets now. They aren't just telling you something is broken, they're essentially looking into a crystal ball. They analyze vibration and heat signatures to tell you a bearing is going to seize up 3 weeks before it actually happens.
So instead of the bang clunk smoke method of diagnosis you usually use, the tool just sends you an email saying, "Hey Tiger, I'm tired, please fix me."
Precisely. And honestly, if you aren't adopting this stuff, you're just waiting to lose money. Downtime is the silent killer of a profitable shop.
Speaking of losing money, let's talk about the trades path. I saw the notes from the WorldPack STX Summit. It sounds like if you aren't learning high-voltage systems right now, you're basically a typewriter repairman in the age of the iPhone.
You're not wrong. The high voltage shift isn't coming. It's parked in the driveway. If you're a tech in 2026, your value is tied to your comfort level with electronic complexity. WorldPack is pushing 300 different courses this year just on OEM standards for hybrids and EVs. It's a different world. You aren't just turning a wrench, you're managing an ecosystem of sensors and high-amp power delivery.
That sounds intimidating and potentially crispy if you touch the wrong thing.
Extremely crispy, which is why the training is everything. But here's the real nugget I took away from that summit. The most successful techs aren't just the guys who fix stuff. They're the ones who understand the business fundamentals. They can explain a customer's ROI. They understand the why behind the service writing. If you can speak human and high voltage at the same time, you're basically untouchable in this market.
It's that bridge between the grease on your hands and the numbers on the spreadsheet, which leads us perfectly into our Maker Mogul segment. Tiger, you always say you love the smell of sawdust, but I know you love the sound of a cha-ching on your phone even more.
Look, I love a one-off custom build as much as the next guy, but if you want to eat steak instead of ramen, you have to think about functional art. In 2026, people are tired of the flat pack stuff that falls apart if you sneeze on it. They want personalized organizers, modular shelving, and furniture that plays nice with their tech.
So, less hand carved statue of a bear and more sleek desk organizer with a built in wireless charger?
Exactly. The secret sauce is batching. I used to spend a whole Saturday making one elaborate spice rack. Now, I'll spend that Saturday making 10. If I can produce 5 items in the time it used to take to make 2 by setting up jigs and refining my workflow, I've just doubled my hourly rate without raising my prices. That's the maker mogul math.
And for the people who are currently staring at a pile of wood and a calculator with a blank expression?
Dig into the Wood Profits frameworks. It's a solid way to bridge that gap from, hey, I'm okay at this, to, hey, I'm a business owner. It takes the guesswork out of the pricing, which, let's be honest, is where most of us fail. We charge for the wood and a bit of time, and we forget that we have to pay for the electricity and the blades and the 3 cups of coffee it took to finish the job.
Okay, let's get to the fun stuff. The DIY mastery path. I saw some guys making drums on a CNC.
Man, CNC percussion is the new frontier. People are using hobbyist CNC machines to carve out stave drums. It's this incredible marriage of digital precision, getting those angles absolutely perfect so the drum resonates, and that old school acoustic soul. It's a project that'll make you pull your hair out, but when you hit that drum for the first time, worth every second of the frustration.
I'll stick to the end grain challenge, though I've seen your face after a botched glue up on one of those. It's not pretty.
An end grain cutting board is a rite of passage. It's the ultimate test of your patience and your ability to keep things square. If you're a millimeter off at the start, by the end of the glue up, you've basically built a wooden Pringle. But if you get it right, it's a piece of gear that'll outlive you. It's the heirloom of the kitchen.
And what's this viral shimless window installation I've been hearing about? Is that just internet magic, or is it actually a game changer?
It's surprisingly legit. There's a new bracket-based method that's floating around the contractor circles. Instead of faffing about with tiny wooden wedges and a level for 3 hours while your helper gets sunburnt, these brackets allow for micro adjustments with a screw. It's saving the DIY crowd a mountain of time. It takes the hit it with a hammer and pray element out of window replacement.
See, that's what I love. High-tech drums, high-voltage cars, and a better way to put in a window.
That's the spirit of the day, whether you're looking to get certified in those high voltage systems, trying to turn your garage into a $1,000 a month side hustle, or just trying to finish that cutting board that's been sitting on your bench since Christmas. Just keep moving.
So, what's the big takeaway for this Saturday, Tiger, before the listeners go out and start making a mess?
I think it's this. The tools are changing faster than we are, but the craft stays the same. Whether you're using an AI diagnostic tool or a 100-year-old axe design, the goal is to do the job better than you did it yesterday. Don't be afraid of the new tech, but don't lose your respect for the basics.
Well said. Now go clean your workbench. It's a disaster.
One step at a time, Alex. One step at a time. Stay curious, stay safe, and let's get building.